Each of these list words today starts with the prefix non. So non means not, negative or absent. So prefix often change the meaning of the word, whereas suffixes change the structure and therefore the use of a word. So let's go through and have a look at the other things that we can see. I'd strongly recommend that you highlight the non in each of these words and anything else that you can see to make the spelling easier. So here we've got SE at the end of a word. So that is just showing that it's singular in its usage. In non-verbal, that's an adjective because it's ending in AL, and the ER is an R-controlled vowel, so we know they're all long vowel sounds, so we only have one consonant after that. Now nondescript, we've got a long E sound on that E there. So you could break that up into some syllables to make it easy. In fact, you can break all these words into syllables to make them easier. Now, why do we have a double S in non-plus? Well, if we look at the base word plus, is it a short word? Yes, it is. Does it have a short vowel sound? Pull is a short vowel sound? Yes. Does it end in one consonant? Does the base word end in one consonant? Yes. Does the suffix, the bit we add on, start with a vowel? Yes, ED does start with a vowel. If you get 4 ticks, you know you're going to double the S before you add the ED there. Now non-fiction, you can hear the shin, you know, if you hear shin, you're frequently writing TION, that's the most common way of writing shin at the end of a word. Non-entity, so you've got the Y making the long E sound at the end of a word. So there are thousands of words that end in Y for the long E sound. There's only about 10 to 20 that you might use that end in EY. It's not as common, so if you're not sure, always put the Y there. Non-invasive, now this it here is making a short vowel sound. The only reason there's an E on the end is because English words can never end with a V. So we simply put an E on the end to solve that problem. Now nonchalant is a French word, so you've got the CH making the sh sound there, so you may want to highlight that to remember. Nonconformist, you've got an OR, another R-controlled vowel, and once again just a single consonant after a long vowel sound. Non-committal, now look, you've got a ot sound, so you're doubling the M. You've got an it sound, so you're doubling the T. So any of those short vowel sounds, you've got 2 consonants after it. In fact, in this word, you've got a double M and a double T. So the consonant, the same letter is doubled, but it doesn't have to be the same letter in every word, but in this one it is. Right, let's go back and have a look at what the words mean. And if you need to, don't be afraid to go back into your spelling rules cards and have a look at some of the cards that we refer to at the bottom of each page to help you really understand what these words, why these words are spelt the way they are. Now, what does nonsense mean? So nonsense means that words that have no meaning or make no sense. Non-verbal means not using words or speech. Nondescript means without distinctive features. Non-plus means surprised and confused and unsure of how to react. Non-fiction means writing that is informative or factual. A non-entity would be an unimportant person or event. Non-invasive means describing a medical procedure that is external. Nonchalant means it's an adjective and it means a feeling or appearing casually calm and relaxed. Nonconformist means someone who disagrees with mainstream customs or ideas. And non-committal means not expressing either agreement or disagreement. So don't forget, in each of these spaces you're going to go through and read the word, write it, check it, write it, check it, write it, check it. If you make a mistake, you're going to rub it out and do it again. In each of these words, we're adding the prefix non, meaning not, negative or absent to each of these words. So it's going to change the meaning of these words to the opposite of what it means. So prefixes commonly change the meaning. Suffixes, which are word parts that we add to the end of words, often changes structure and the use of a word within a sentence. So do go through and read the word, cover it, write it and check it to make sure that you've spelt them correctly. And it's a great time to practice your running writing. Join to make new words and then write the word next to its meaning is probably easier. So non-conformist, you're going to write it straight next to its meaning. Fill in the gap with a list word. So this is to just make sure you know the meanings of these words above. No point learning to spell a word when you don't know the meaning or how to apply it in a sentence. So write the word that best describes each of the following people. So I've given you some descriptions here. You have to work out which of these words best speak the characters that we've discussed. At the top here you need to read the word, cover it, write it and check to make sure you spelt them correctly. Then here you're going to fill in the gaps with a list word or a list word extension. So read the sentence and work out which word best fits each gap. Write the list word that originates from these root words, nice and easy for you. Then add non to these words, then write a sentence with the new word. So you're going to have to work out what these words mean with the prefix non before each of them. Write the list word to match the synonym and antonym. So we've given you a pair of words for each list word. You've got to work out which is the synonym and which is the antonym and label them with either an S or an A and write the list word down here that they correspond to. On this page we're adding affixes to make opposites. Now affixes include prefixes to the start of a word or suffixes to the end of a word. So place a prefix or a suffix onto these words so they mean the opposite. So we've given you examples of unending, impossible, non-fiction, endless, dismiss, misinform and incomplete. So use those affixes to add to these words here. You may find within your group that you could have a couple of different answers for some of those words. Down here we want you to go beyond the list that you've just worked on and write 3 words for the following prefixes that are not list words from your day 1, day 2, day 3 pages. And just write each of them there. Now alter the underlined word with a prefix to make it mean the opposite. So we want you to, and we've given you an alert here, pay attention to the context of the sentence. So Gregory replied that he would be able to come to the wedding. So if you want that to mean the opposite, you'd have to think about what prefix or suffix you'd have to add to that word to make it mean the opposite. So find and circle the 10 adjectives in the description of Ursula. So an adjective is of course describing her. So go through and just circle or highlight them and then change the adjectives and transform Ursula into her opposite. So we've created a character here, a person. We want you to change that to make Ursula the person that you would want her to be.